It's time for the UCF version of Sunday Questions. But I'm going to sidestep that long enough to give an update from the Kegler's Coaches Show. McLaren and Favres are out. That hurts. Also, I guess it explains why he said Beiser will be playing and playing early, but it means we don't have two backup linebackers to give the guys a break. We will be seeing Floyd more as a nickel spear, and Raleigh Collins will be playing. That suggests that Lance Dixon is still pretty deep in the doghouse and don't know if he is going to get out of that. So the defense is in a bind. Hopefully they respond by digging deeper, playing assignment football. Actually, that does take us back to the questions. And as usual, these are the questions that I think I would ask on Sunday if I didn't see the game on Saturday. Or the questions I would ask on Saturday night, since it is a noon game. Rimac is back, and tonight Brown said he will start. That's good. Yates and Hubbard will be rotating at right guard. So we have our whole line back. Of course, first question, how back is Remick? We should be better. We're not necessarily going to be full speed. You're often not full speed this time of the season. Can the offense start faster in the first and third quarters? For whatever reason, the first one or two series in those quarters has not gone well. Quite often it is just a missed block, not quite making it far enough on a run, a missed pass, just not sharp enough, not all the way. Well, of course, with Green, it used to be that he was overplaying, but for whatever reason, they have to be able to play high level straight through. How will Horton factor in? Clement, questionable at best, probably out. Horton played well last week. Looks to be playing more and more. And there has been an intentional move to go young at receiver. We could see that. And that decision is probably why we lost two of the older transfers. But it's already starting to pay off. And remember, we once upon a time went young, that offensive line. It took a little longer for that to pay off. Line usually does. But we're seeing good things at receiver, and we've got talent, we've got speed. Some of that speed is going to be on the bench until Clement heals, but you lose Clement and add more plays for Horton, and he's faster. So as long as Horton comes through for us, we're not bad off at receiver. Will the running game build on last week? Johnson hit some good runs. He had more confidence. Of course, with his illnesses, he had not been beating his head against the stacked boxes the way the other guys had. So he hadn't necessarily lost that edge. He came in strong, healthy, and hit the gaps. Hopefully, the gaps will be more numerous and bigger. He will play more. He may start. Brown, basically said he might start. Don't know. Who plays the most depends on who has the hot hand. Donaldson still needs to get his groove. And Jaheim White will play some more this week. Brown said he had a good week of practice, better than last week, which was not a good week, so he'll play. That combination really should hit big. It hasn't yet. But last week we showed signs. Between the running backs finding their groove and having the complete line back and having a passing game that teams have to worry about, will the running game come through? And much like the offense, can the defense play 4 quarters? Earlier in the season, they seemed to get stronger as the game went on. That has not been the case. I have said before that fatigue is a big part of it, but it is also a psychological thing. You have to fight through fatigue, but your ability to fight through fatigue has a lot of psychological and emotional factors. And when you've just gotten off the field and they muff a punt and you have to come back on, that sucks a lot out of you. But it was also a matter of doing a zero blitz, having nobody in the back to help, and missing gaps. Does the defense get back to playing smart? That's not having stupid penalties, and it is playing assignment football. Talked about that way back before the season started. The coaches have talked about it almost every week. You have to do your job and not worry about doing somebody else's job. Trust them to do theirs, even if maybe they're having a rough stretch. So don't overcompensate, which means you're more likely to hit the right gap instead of the wrong gap. And that screwed us over more than once last week, hitting the wrong gap. So play your assignment. Do that well. Don't try to do everything. Defense is they've got the hero thing of trying to carry the team. No, you carry your job. That's how you carry the team. You be a part of the team. Will the defensive line gain their edge? The first 5 games they played, whether you say it's a chip on their shoulder, they played angry, they were playing at that extra level. Yeah, we talk about giving 110%, which is, of course, mathematically impossible, but emotionally real. How much you have to give varies. What it means to give it all. And you get in that right mental, emotional state where you're able to tap into something more. And it's hard to stay at that level indefinitely. The bye week hurt in that respect. Will they find a way to crank it up to the mathematically impossible 110%. Well, I don't know the answers to those questions. I think things will all move in the right direction. It's a young team. It's a good team. I've said that before. And I know some people are getting pretty darn tired of hearing me even make an attempt to be positive about the team. Some people out there just want doom and gloom. Well, I think we're going to win. I'll see you when it's time for the Saturday night answers to the UCF game. So long.